Alrighty, so in this video, we are going to start to dive into financial maths. So another application of percentages. Now, this is going to be towards a more financial context. So we're going to talk about simple interest, and interest is essentially just money that accumulates when we invest in something. So when we either say you invest in some like an investment with your bank and then that accumulates interest, you get interest, more money on that account. Or sometimes if you borrow money with a loan, then the bank charges you interest. So you kind of have to pay more. It's almost like a tax on borrowing money. But in this case, no one likes to talk about losing money. So let's look at an example where we actually gain money. So, me putting my money in, say, some type of high interest savings account or something, any type of investment account. Now, it's important to note that interest and the idea of the simple interest formula, it's made up of a few different things, and we need to take a note of them here. So these this is made up of, well, our interest, which is just the money earned, the extra money earned after a certain amount of time. We have the principal. So this is the principal amount that we put in. So that's pretty much the money we start with. So say I put maybe $2,000 into my account. So into some high interest account. So that is our, well, actually, all right, that's our starting money that we invest. Money invested. We also have time. So the time this money is in the account. So our time. And we usually do this in years, but we can do it we can do it in months, and we'll get to that later. I don't think it's too important at this stage. So it's essentially the length of time the money's borrowed, time or money's invested, and we have the rate. Now, the rate is essentially a type of percentage. This is an interest rate. So I'll put here, actually, yeah, I'll write here, this is an, oh, this is an annual rate of interest. So you may be making some links already here. Our rate is a type of percentage increase because we're taking a percentage of our money, and a portion of this is getting added to our money that we put in. So our account is growing here. Same way with when we borrow money, interest grows. So we have to pay back a little bit extra. Now, these are the most important elements of simple interest. And there is one formula that links all of these together. And that is that our simple interest equals the principal money we've put in. And now, sorry, I should make the link here. This simple interest is our first portion here. And that is our principal amount invested or borrowed multiplied by the time multiplied by the rate. Some people write it PRT, so showing that all of those multiply. So it's essentially just the product of these three elements here. But the formula is typically written as PRT. So let's look at an actual example. And this is going to be a two-part example. So in the first part, I want to find out the simple interest on a principal amount of $3,560 with a time of 3 years and a rate of 8.25% per annum. So this PA stands for per annum. This just means per year. Annum sounds similar to the word annual, and annual means yearly. So this is a yearly rate here. So let's just find out the simple interest first. And like you may have guessed, we can just sub in all these factors into our equation. So our simple interest equals our principal amount, 3,560, times our rate, which is 8.25%. Now, because we're taking the product with this rate, it's easier to convert this to a fraction. And we can actually, this will allow us to work with it in our formula. Actually, I think on calculators, you can just write in something as a percent. But usually when we took percentages of a quantity, we converted to fractions. So let's just do that here as well. So we have the definition of a percentage is some fraction over 100. So if you watch my last videos, it should make sense why we got this here. And then that's going to get multiplied by the time this is in the account. And our simple interest will be the product of these three elements, which should give me $881.10. Now for part B, let's just find out if this was, for example, a high interest account that I invested in. Let's find my money. So how much money is in the account after 3 years? Much in account after 3 years. Oops. We want to find this. Well, I had my starting amount here, and then I earned some interest here, which is going to get added to my initial sum of money that I put in. So we can say that the final amount of money equals our principal plus our simple interest earned on that. So, therefore, this final amount equals our, was it 3,560 plus $881.10. So once I add these two together, I get $4,441.10. cents change. This amount I end up with, that is what's left in my account. So after it's all said and done, I'm still going to have my original money in there. I'm not just going to magically lose money. My initial amount will remain and the interest will get added on. So this number is my final amount in the account after the 3 years has passed under a simple interest money growth scheme. So that is how simple interest works, and it's part of the syllabus, but you may have noticed it doesn't involve percentages as much, but we still require the skills we built up in previous videos to work with this, because we're still, in essence, taking a percentage of a quantity. So we are multiplying this to our quantity there. And our simple interest formula just gives us a relationship between our principal amount, our starting point, our length of time, and the rate, our annual rate of interest. So that's simple interest. I'll see you next time.